Oh my goodness. Hey, what's up? Scott Balcom here with Imagination Creation Films, and it's Friday. It's September 6th. There's 2 seconds left before the intro goes. Makes it kind of half the fun, at least. What is going on, everybody? It is Friday. That means it's live stream day, and that's your day to interact with me like you've been dreaming of for years. I mean, you're all lined up, ready to talk. I'm sure they're like, oh, good, I could talk with Scott. That sounds like a dream come true. But I'm here, I'm chatting, I'm talking, and it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Black Warrior Lures, hello, Black Warrior Lures. How are you, buddy? Iman, hey, what's going on? Welcome, man. People are starting to pour in. How is everybody? Black Warrior, I don't think I've talked to you before. What is going on? Where are you from? What you do? Hello, Grumbo. You say I'm too bright? You want me to dumb it down? Let me turn it down. I didn't think I was that bright. Maybe. Is that prettier? You like that? You like that? I can soften my sides here. Oh, you know what? Let me just do this. Let me kill my window light. There you go. There's a little extra reflection for you. Black Warrior, is the C500 a better deal than the lower priced Steadicam LT? Well, you can't really compare it yet because it hasn't shipped. There are a lot of cool features in the new C500. I'm assuming you're talking about the Mark II, not the old one. If you're talking about the old one, no, the Steadicam is far better than that. But if you're talking about the new one, there's a lot of cool features in there that might make it worthwhile. But you gotta give it a little bit of time. Jeff says, "Hey Scott, very serious question for you. Fire away, buddy." Conscious Creative, hello, Bell Ola. Adam says, perfect. Yeah, okay. Iman says, not much watching X-Files. Which season? I love X-Files. You know, on X-Files, I like to watch it. There's like a website where you can follow the story arcs. And so it has you jump around to different episodes. Because I love the alien stuff and the black oil and all that stuff. I hate the Monster of the Week. It really doesn't do much for me. However, I love the writing on that show. Jeff says, M&M's or Reese's Pieces. Well, Jeff, I don't know if you've seen my 100 and my 1,000 subscriber videos. I'm a little bit partial to peanut butter M&Ms. That being said, I do like Reese's Pieces. I would say in order, I would go M&M's peanut butter, then Reese's Pieces, then M&M's. Well, no, then peanut M&M's, then M&M's. You can only eat so many M&M's, and I really would like to consume a lot, so that's why I like the peanut butter. Peter VR says, "Hey, Scott, listening in, still wrapping up work." Hey, I appreciate it, and I understand it. Black Warrior Lures says, "I'm in Alabama. I'm making fishing lures. Go on fishing adventures and document the correct." Nice. I like that. Well, Carter, if you're joining the live stream, join in. I mean, if you didn't see this going on, the video I posted literally 2:00 last night. I just got passed some information on the Sony stuff, and he called me out and said I was just stealing from other people, and I'm like, no, that ain't me. That ain't how I get my information. And we had some discussion back and forth. It was all cordial. I mean, I get where he's coming from. It wasn't harmful. He was assuming that I was just stealing it from other people, and I was not. I was getting my information from really nice, close sources. But we had a cordial conversation. We ended it well. Seems like everything's good. But, I mean, Carter, if you're in there listening, yeah, come on in, buddy. Say hello. Document the craziness. I like that, Black Warrior. Jeff says, "I'm more Reese's." Yeah, I mean, I get it. I'll tell you, if I have to have the little box, if you go to Walmart or you go to the movie theater and you get the box, if I have a box, I want the Reese's Pieces because you get more Reese's Pieces than you do M&Ms. That's my opinion. Amon says season 5. That's a good episode. You know what's amazing is to this day, if anyone plays, and I can't quote it right off the like it's a diminished seventh chord. Everybody instantly goes, ooh, X-Files. It just has that sound. You can't mistake an X-Files sound. It was beautiful. Adam says, what's the best way to slap people over the internet who see a new camera and only find the bad things? Same people who shoot on the G85. The best way to do it, Adam, is with love. Love, attention, and, brush them off because it's the internet. I mean, you could find, I could throw, I can't think of anything funny to say. It's the internet. You know how it is. Don't worry about it, man. Black Warrior says Reese's. Yeah. See, and it wasn't E.T. that got it, because I had Reese's Pieces. I swear I did. I mean, it was a long damn time ago, but I swear I had them before E.T. came out. Like, it wasn't like years. Bill says, Black Warrior Lures, I do an outdoor column in North Carolina. I used to do some stuff for Mississippi and Louisiana. Yep, he does. Jeff says, much respect. It is an important distinction. It is, Jeff. I agree with that. B&B Films, full frame PXW FX9. Yes, this one is going to be interesting. It is full frame. It is 6K. Well, it's a 5.7K, but I mean, it's 6K. What's a couple of pixels amongst friends? It is going to have 2 codecs. The FX6 is only going to have 1. Now, this is information. I'm telling you this. This is information that I have now read from, I think it's Sony Alpha Rumors. When that guy posted it, I actually went out to see what they had. And this is stuff that I got from them. It's supposed to have 2 different codecs, and the FX6 is only supposed to have 1. There is conflict on whether the FX6 is full frame or Super 35. The information that I got, this was hard printed material, says Super 35. I don't know. But, I mean, this has been expected for a while. The FS7 Mark II has been aging a little bit. It's still really, really popular. The FX9 is really going to breathe some new life back into it, and it's probably going to ignite a war, because I think the Canon C500 Mark II is perfect for documentary, run and gun, reality, that kind of space where you want a compact package that can do a lot, and you're not carrying around a whole bunch of stuff with you. And that's basically the way the C500 is positioned right now, and the FS7 with its internal battery, that kind of stuff. You're not lugging around, V-mounts everywhere. You're using internal batteries. So, yeah, I think the FX9 is going to be interesting, and we'll find out here in just a few days. Black Warrior Lure says, sweet Bill, Frosty Flake, what's your opinion on the new Sony cameras? First, Frosty, you have not answered my question. I have asked you now twice. What's your first name? I know I asked before. I swear I know who you are, but I can't remember, so you have to tell me that. I'm not answering your question. Actually, I probably just did answer the question. B&B says, how do you feel about the Canon C500 Mark II? I'm really impressed with the feature set. Was just talking with that, I don't know who it was. It was like 25 minutes ago on my C500 video, where someone was asking why digital image stabilization. It is a good question. I personally don't like digital image stabilization. Number one, because you can't actually get a 3-dimensional stabilization. You can't get those next 3 axes. Well, you can get 1 axis, but you can't get the tilt, because you physically can't do it without warping. So digital image stabilization, I don't know. However, they're keen on it. And it kind of makes me wonder. What the Sony's going to have. It's going to have something. I'd be pretty sure on that, although I don't know. Let's see here. Frosty Flake says, I assume they'll have Apple RAW capabilities on the Sony. They will not. They are not going to have that. It is 2 Sony codecs. I apologize. I don't remember what they are right off the top of my head, but there's an L and an H, I think, for the codecs. One of them is definitely the more robust one with a higher bit rate. That one is not going to be on the 6, but will be on the 9. Also, I do apologize. I'm feeling a little odd today. I've kind of got a headache and feeling weird, but I'm here. I'm here for you, except for Frosty Flake, who's going to tell me his name. Frosty Flake. Let's see. Bill says X-Files was only good with Mulder. I agree. I didn't like it when Mulder went away. It's tough. Chad says, "What's up, Scotty? What's up, Chad?" Jeff says, "Have you ever played with the digital bullocks?" No, I haven't. A friend of mine has one, and I still, to this day, have not played with it. But I've seen some exceptionally beautiful stuff coming from it. And it was raw. It was cool. But it's completely gone now. There is no support for it. But it was an idea. It was an idea. Someone said, you know what? Let's do that. And they did. I like that. Iman says, the new C500 Mark II looks like the perfect multi-purpose camera. Shockingly. Yes. And it was I forget, wow, I'm starting to get old. It was a conversation I was having with someone, oh yeah, I know who it was, about Canon color and the science, the color science. I like the Canon color science. I like the way it looks on skin. Their opinion was that it was very specific to Canon, and you could always call out a Canon, and it looked funny. It looked like video. I don't agree with that, but, you know, I don't have to agree with everyone to be friends. As I always say, the only thing you have to agree on is that you're friends. That's the truth. To me, the Sony look, the original Sony look, and the original FS7 and FS5 and the A7R2, those all had a very video look to me. The A7R3 is much better, in my opinion. When they basically came out with the Venice color science, I think it really changed. Frosty is completely ignoring my request. Ooh. Do I like digital ND filters? Well, no, they don't actually exist. What are you referring to on digital ND? Because most ND filters are going to be a physical one that sits in front of it. I think I know what you're talking about, the LCD. Those, yes, I do. Panavision's is quite amazing. I was thinking you were talking about where they just cut gain, and I would never subscribe to that. If you cut gain, you're going to change the image. But the new Panavision LCD, and I think someone in China had one, where it's a clear LCD panel, just like an LCD monitor, and then they can just turn on the amount of opacity on it to create more ND. Yeah, I'm really excited about that, actually, a lot. I need someone other than Panavision to make it. Jeff says, I always wanted to play with one as well. Never had the chance, though. At the time, the OG BMPCC was so much cheaper and had better mount, and I always feel like the footage I saw for the ball. Yeah, I agree with that. I remember the whole Blackmagic Pocket original craze, and it was a lot, because it was a tiny little camera. That digital Bolex was an odd-shaped camera, and it shot at a Super 16, well, very similar to the Pocket, but it was raw, well, very similar to the Pocket. Yeah, it was an interesting craze. A little more expensive, though. A little more expensive. Let's see here. Jamie. Hey, Jamie. How are you, buddy? Sorry about your grandma. Man, I'm glad to see you back. I also liked your little video. You put some thought into it. You're starting to think like a director again. I like that, man. I like that. It says A6600 and A6100 was a bit disappointing. The only thing more disappointing was the Canon 90D and the M6. Those were just underwhelming. I agree. I don't think any of those 4 cameras are worth an upgrade unless you haven't purchased a camera in quite a while and you're looking for an upgrade. Am on Digital ND. Let's get some clarification, but I think I answered what he's talking about. But Black Warrior, jump in and clarify which digital you're referring to. Chad says, I took your advice from the Red Cine X. I finished the video in Premiere and exported it to YouTube. The edit I exported in 80 to 100 megabits looks better than the edit I exported at 150. Is there a reason? There's not enough information that you've given me to be able to help determine that. For instance, there are things you can do badly in Premiere. There are settings that you can use wrong that would give you a worse output, far worse. There are things you can do in Red Cine X, etc. Kind of like the old set to frame size and scale to frame size in Premiere. One of those will destroy your footage. B&B Films, did you hear about the Red Komodo camera? Well, yes, I did. Yeah, if you, B&B, you're new. Also don't know your first name. Throw your first name out there so we can say hello. Yeah, the Red Komodo, I exclusively broke the SDI, the 4K SDI that was given to me by Red to throw out there on this channel. So yeah, I have some knowledge on it and dig it. And it's coming soon. Abu, oh man, I'm late. Yes, you are, Abu. How are you, buddy? Not sure what was covered already, but hey, we've covered a lot actually, but you know, we jump around. That's what we do. We're a question and answer kind of live stream. So you throw out a question, I'll throw out an answer, except for Frosty Flakes. He won't throw out that answer. Let's see here. Jeff says, I feel like the Canon 90D may be a good, cheap gimbal camera, right? Besides not having 24p. See, I find that really, insulting's the wrong word, but dumb. I feel like that's just dumb that Canon would do that. I don't know why they would do it, other than probably because there's a new camera coming out here shortly that they don't want to cannibalize. Do the math. Abu says, I think I'm settled on the Panasonic S1H, to be honest. I'm extremely attracted to it, more than any other offering under 10K. Handheld, need nothing. Is it more my style? Thoughts? As the S1H has settled on my stomach a little longer, I think it's a cool camera. I mean, I don't think I ever said it was not a cool camera. I said I wouldn't upgrade. It's very similar to the C500. It was either last week or the week before that we talked about the C500 on here, and I was unimpressed. It did not impress me at all, and I forget which one of you we talked about it, and that's why I put it in my video. I was wrong. It is so much more than what I had heard, which is, you know, just life in general. I don't think the S1H is bad. I don't like the price. I really have some qualms over that price. I don't know how to quantify that because there's really nothing at this particular moment. Give it 2 weeks, but there's nothing at this particular moment that can compete in that price point. So I get it. I've seen now some really nice footage come out of it, and it doesn't suck. It doesn't. So, I mean, if it's got the feel and the look that you want, I mean, I'm not going to poop on it. I certainly wouldn't turn it down if someone said, "Hey, I want you to shoot with this for a month." Yeah, I'll shoot with it for a month. Heck yeah. Would I upgrade to it from here? I don't have a space or a niche to replace anything with it. So I don't think I would here, but that's me. That's, you got to do what feels right for you, and literally what feels right for you will energize you far more than what someone else tells you about it. I mean, when you pick up a camera and you go, ah, I mean, that feeling, that Harry Potter moment, that is confidence. It's liquid courage. Well, physical courage, but it will energize you to make more stuff. And people always say, oh, it's not the camera. It's not. But the camera can help you a lot. It can give you confidence. It can do things. So yeah, if it gives you that, if it blows your hair up, yeah, I could see that. Let's see here. Brandon. Oh, Brandon. Hey, Bomb Films. Brandon, got it. I shall remember that. Okay. Well, we're flying here. Chad says higher bitrate export is higher quality video, I thought. Well, go back to my compression video, garbage in, garbage out. So whatever you're putting in is going to affect what goes out. And definitely have to spend the time on that. Wow, we're flying here. Yeah, I love it. This is an active chat. I love this. Boo says, I'm really loving the pace of the channel. You're going to get huge, I have no doubt. Yeah, I don't want to focus a lot on the news. I'm doing it because it's news right now. I do love getting videos out there. I am feeling some energy with it, which I do love, and I appreciate that. Jamie says, Sony A7S III will be the real deal, though. No, it won't. There won't be one. Whenever that happens, I'm going to hope that Canon's M5 II or M52 will have the specs I'm looking for. I mean, what are you looking for there, Jamie? Chad, my sequence settings were red 5K 3840 by 1574. Okay. Did you set to frame size or scale to frame size when you imported your footage? Conscious Creative Bill says, I agree, Abu. I told Scott the past few have been great flow to them. Dayron Films. Hey, Dayron, how are you? I'm looking to upgrade my camera from the Sony a6300. I mainly make music videos. What do you think is the best option right now for under 3K? Under 3K, honestly, I'd probably go with the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K. Bang for the buck. Yeah, I'd probably jump on that one. And music videos is one of those where low light capability really comes in, because there's always going to be a music video that you're shooting in the dark, or you have just a single light on someone and you want to be able to pull it out as much as possible. Yeah, I would consider that. I mean, if you want to save your money, you can get the 4K. It's a great camera too. Understand a couple of caveats. You're going to have to invest in a whole lot more hard drive storage for that camera, as well as a bunch of batteries. That is the truth. But it produces some nice imagery. Dayron, give me is Dayron your first name, or give me your first name if you have it. Abu says, oh, I see 4K is high in your opinion. I do, yeah, 4,000. I feel like that camera should be like 32. And I know that's not a lot from 4K, but I mean, it really starts to pull. I mean, at 4K, I'm going to start looking at the EVA-1. I mean, it's bigger, but I'd rather pull that way than go upwards. I mean, it depends on how I feel, though. I mean, definitely the S1H is going to be a compact package. Jamie says, XT3 is the only camera that has actually impressed me this part of the year. The fully articulating screen, yep. Besides not having a fully articulated screen. Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff coming from the XT3 that is nice that I've seen. I don't hate it. It's just, it's not, I don't know that it's not embraced by a lot of people. That being said, who cares? I mean, if it tickles your fancy, then do it. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'd say. Abu says, I agree, XT3 is really a little beast. Yep. Somebody texted me. Chad says, 4K, I'd buy a DSMC 1 Epic or similar. I don't think you're going to find a DSMC-1 Epic. I don't think you're going to find a DSMC-1 Scarlet for 4K. But, I mean, think about where Dayron is coming from, too. Dayron is coming from an A6300. So if you throw him into a full red, I mean, that is a whole different learning experience, and not necessarily the best flow for a career. It's enough to actually have you pull all your hair out and walk away. So I would definitely inch him upwards a little bit. Inch him up from where he is and not, make that big giant jump. Boo says, Harry Potter moment, that's all I need to hear. Yeah. I only said Harry Potter because I've got a Harry Potter skit I'm about to shoot. Black Warrior Lure says, my guess is they replaced the S1H between the GH5S and the EVA1. It is far more of a jump from the GH5S because both of those are using Sony sensors. But from what I was reading in, Digital Film Magazine, when they were interviewing, they were saying that they basically pulled the EVA1 down and stripped out everything that they had to make it small. So it's more of an EVA1 than it is a GH5S. But to me, I think it's the other way. But I can't refute the people who build it. Chaz says, what open broadcast do you use when you're going live, if any? I use OBS. And I could probably show it. Let me see here. Not that one. Let's do this. This one. Let's see if it'll. There you go. We have Inception. My fingers. Woo, that's kind of fun. Whoa. Yep. I run OBS here. Make sure my password is not anywhere. And then I run my chat window popped out. All my stats are down here. And then I watch this right here to see just how many people are watching. And that's what I run. I like OBS. OBS is pretty solid in my opinion. The only negative to OBS is that you can't you can't simulcast to Facebook and YouTube at the same time. Because I wish I could. That'd be kind of fun. Abu says, Bill, hey, yes, indeed. There we go. What did Bill say? Oh, yeah, okay, got it. It's from a comment way up there. Chad Watkins says 5-1. That's 5-to-1 compression, I'm assuming. Okay. Jeff says, I am eagerly awaiting for the Sony A7S4 12.5K ProRes. Keep waiting. I don't think that one's going to happen. I would imagine before that happens, it's not going to be ProRes. It's going to be Sony's, and it won't be 12.5K. That's not a viable resolution. I mean, it's possible. Chad says, I scaled. I don't remember which one. I always get it confused. I actually have it set now as a standard on my Premiere anytime something comes in. But the way I know is that if you have your footage in your timeline, if you go to your properties of your footage, it should not be at 100%. If it's at 100%, then it's wrong, and you're actually clipping your resolution off. If it's set to like 80% or 70%, it's right. So verify that one. Let's see. Jamie says, I'm looking for the Canon M camera. I love the user interface, size, lens options. I like dual pixel, lightweight for gimbal, but none of the M series cameras have servo focusing during 100. That's true. It's actually very hard to do. It was kind of a big deal when the GH5 did it, because GH5 had 240 hertz focusing, which allowed it to do it in, actually it had 240 frames a second focus speed, which allowed it to do in the 180. Jimmy, and 4K seems useless until they do 4K 60 with dual pixel autofocus. Well, they do that now. That is in the Canon C500 Mark II. you should invest in one immediately. 16 grand. They're taking orders right now. Dayron says, yes, Dayron is my last name. Got it. Thanks for your answer. Really appreciate it. You bet. Anytime. Chad, I also use OB. Yep. OBS is POS, Jamie. Jamie, you don't live stream. Don't be like that. OBS is pretty good. OBS is free. Jamie, that is your favorite word, so don't even be like that. Depends on your use. Yep. Oh, God, ice cube. Jeff says, I like OBS, and it's the best free operation. Legato has okay one, but can be buggy. Elgato. Yeah, okay. Legato. Who is Legato? I don't know. Check out a Kinefinity Terra 4K. It's that's a cinema camera is not quite Jamie's bag. He's Jamie. If you don't know Jamie does running. He's a avid runner, and he has a channel of like 50,000 people now, where he reviews running shoes. He does a really good job, but he also has that kind of brain as a filmmaker, which makes his videos even better. And when he really puts his creativity to it, he can make some cool stuff. I would put him. I'd put him as one of those in like 20 years. You're going to be seeing a movie out there, and you'll be like, "Hey, I chatted with that guy. I know him." Yeah, there's Jamie. I like free. That's the Jamie I know. You stream all the time? I never see you stream. Never. When do you stream? Black Warrior Lures, tacos versus pizza. All right, this one's going to be controversial, and I hate to offend those that I'm about to, but yeah, I'm going to have to go with pizza, and not thick crust. New York style, large, thin crust pepperoni. It's got to be that style. I want to fold that pizza. It's got to be that. Otherwise, it's tacos. I don't like lasagna pizza. Gerald says, hey, folks. Hey, Gerald. How are you, buddy? Chad says it's a GH5 on crack. It's more than a GH5. It really is, because it is the Sony sensor. It has the dual ISO, which was weird. Did you see that, Abu? That it has 2 dual ISOs, depending on if you're in which totally lost. This is what a headache does. Depending on which view color profile you're in. Color profile, there we go. One of them, the base ISO is 400. It's 100 on the low, 400 on the high. I thought that was like, what? And then it's super high on the other one. It's weird. Chad goes tacos. Now, what kind of tacos? See, tacos is I like street tacos. Those are pretty good, but not as much as pizza. Indian or Thai? That's a tough one. I like some naan. I really like some naan, but I have to go ahead and give the nudge to Thai as well. I like that spiciness a little more than I like the Indian, but I don't dislike either one of them. I like them both. Black Warrior says, yeah, thin crust is the only way to go. There we go. New York style Iman. Yeah. All right. So we got a consensus here. We can just close out the live stream. Tacos can go away. There's some pretty good tacos here in Austin, but I mean, Austin's not exactly known for tacos. Devil22, hi. Hello. Abu says, yes, there's some quirky aspects to it depending on the shooting settings. Absolutely. I'm not sure what that is, though, and why they did that. Well, I mean, I'm assuming the reason they did it was the best possible performance out of it. But it says something about it, and I don't know what it says. It took me a while to just kind of process that. Chad, Austin is a foodie mecca. It kind of is. It's kind of losing a little bit of its food allure. And I'm a foodie. I mean, you don't get to be this big without enjoying food. Jeff says Austin versus Houston. 2 different things. I grew up in Katy, which is Houston. I loved Katy. Katy is unrecognizable now. Houston is unrecognizable. I've lived there for like 20 years, it's unrecognizable as well. But Houston has too much humidity and too many mosquitoes. I live here in Austin, where the humidity is much lower. It's a higher temperature, but I don't like that humidity, and I don't have mosquitoes. I have very few mosquitoes over here. That's what I like. Chad says Austin's worst barbecue is better than California's best. That's true. I don't know. I'm sure there's probably somebody from Texas who's like, we're moving to California. We're going to show them how to make barbecue. And probably took the Texas recipe over there. And everybody in California is like, this is so salty. And where's all the sauce all over it? It's supposed to be covered in sauce. It's a regional thing. I will say that I do like Texas barbecue. I'm partial to that, and it's not a Texas thing. It's not that I'm a Texas boy that I like Texas barbecue. I just like that dry rub. I do that a lot on all my sous vide stuff now. I love that. Jeff says I definitely can understand. I'm in South Florida, so it's basically like Houston but hotter. Yeah. I don't like that. Abu says, just in case you're going to address me, I will be right back. I'm not going to address you, Abu. Nope, not at all. Not at all. I'll just sit here and address you. Chad says, does the humidity affect you shooting on red often? No, not at all. Humidity, 100% humidity can start to cause things to get odd, but as long as you're not sucking air into your optics, you're going to be okay, but you're going to have problems on your lenses. The way that the red is designed inside, it is thermally and physically separated from the optical portion, so the cool air that flows through it through the fans does not actually go through to the sensor. Craft Show, hey, what's up, buddy? Have I ever shot on the Alexa Mini? No, I have not shot anything of value on that. I do want to. There's just not been a project that has come up that they wanted to spend the money to rent that. It's fairness. I've worked with it, but I have not shot anything with it. I've edited footage with it, and I like it. Jeff says, it's Craft Show in the house. Woo! You should trust me. Yeah, I believe you there. I believe you. It's a fun camera. And it's very capable. It's relatively easy, I would say, compared to a red to get good footage out of it. Disconnected. We're back. I've said it over and over again that I don't dislike Aerie at all. I think they make a really good. You're not going to be using an Alexa Mini that often. If you've noticed, and if you want it, now's the time. But there's a whole bunch for sale. The Mini LFs are selling, or they're shipping now. And 4K is going to be a requirement really soon. Up-res 4K is not going to be acceptable in a lot of these platforms. If you're going to do a Mini LF or Alexa LF, you're into $120,000 to get that thing spec'd out. Plus, I don't like the Mini LF. It is really, it's really detuned. 40 frames a second. I don't care for that at all. However, buddy, you do know that Aerie's coming out with a new one, the first of the year. It's a new camera, not an Alexa. It's a Super 35. But it will have the look. So, as I understand it, I believe it's supposed to be a less expensive than 120. Yeah. Jeff says, are we going to see an Aerie purchase Craft Show? Maybe. It was the simplest cam I've used, combined with the shoot we did. We had a mix of red and Alexa. Yeah, I can't afford the LF class. That's why you rent. It's a serious camera, and it is set up for people who came from film. I don't want to think about all the different settings. I don't care about that. Give me a couple of buttons. Let me choose the frame rate. Let me choose this. Let me record. Here's my ND. Here we go. Yep, let's go, or let's go. That's what the Aerie was set up for, and why it's so comfortable for so many. Jeff says, I guess many rentals for now. Anytime you have the budget to use a good camera, I mean, always try. I mean, I'm waiting for that next project, that next one that they'll pay for an Alexa. They're not going to pay for it. Not in my little area. Man, that's a good live stream. I like this. We got a lot of people on. All right, let's rapid fire some questions. Dibble, say more than hello. Come on, jump in there. On the post side, it's a different story. IPP2 is phenomenal. Interesting. I will challenge you here, Craft Show. You need to shoot on the Monstro. I don't care if you don't need to finish it at 8K. You need to shoot on Monstro. And then let's hear your opinion. Because comparing the LF to the Monstro, I was blown away. Monstro is so much more. So much more. And there's a lot of details in there that I have that I'm sure are not public. But the noise factor on an Alexa pushed is pretty bad compared to a Monstro. Just food for thought. It's still Red versus Aerie. Hold on. Yep. Okay. Chad says, I love working with my Red. I'm just having difficulties mastering Resolve workflow with ProRes and exporting highest quality. Yeah, it takes a while to get it. Believe me, I am still learning things that improve my workflow, that improve my output, that improve my quality. You never stop learning. That's the important thing. And I mean, having a group of friends that you can talk to will do more for your career, for your performance, for your post, for the way you acquire images. Always, yes. Abu says, the thing about the S1H for me is also that I do a bit of photography, okay? And that video will do the raw, and it will do raw soon. I don't know, it's more attractive to me than Black. Yeah, if you're doing photography, no, I would not look at Blackmagic at all. You're just pulling stills. For that, yeah, I think that's a very viable option. In fact, that's probably the only option that I'm aware of that I would choose. I know that the A7R4 is not that good with video. In fact, there were some people who were saying that theirs were overheating after about 30 minutes. So, if you're doing stills, yeah, S1H probably does check a lot of boxes for you. Just like my little green check boxes I was doing on the Canon. Chad says, shoot, download footage, edit in Premiere, export XML to Resolve, back to Premiere and export. That's my flow. Okay. When you edit in Premiere, export XML to Resolve, back to Premiere and export. Are you exporting out of Resolve? You should be exporting your final images out of Resolve and bringing those into Premiere. And when you do that, you should do it at the highest possible quality. So if you're shooting in 5K, export it in 5K on Resolve and bring it into a 4K timeline in Premiere. That will give you a higher quality. Jamie says, I met a guy who shot interviews with a C100 and a Canon 1.450. I was like, you must be poor. No, the C100, with the exception of its codec, was a phenomenal 1080p camera. Phenomenal with the autofocus. I had one. Well, are you calling me poor? Well, I am poor right now. I had a C100. Before the Red, my camera was a C100. It was a great camera. The codec is what sucks. It was a 24 megabit simple little codec. They added a better one in the Mark II, but yeah, I would. I don't think I would. I don't think I would poo on a C100, other than the fact that it's only 2K. You told him I only shot red. You like, yeah, that sounds about right. Abu says the A7R4 broke my heart a bit. Was hopeful, but alas, doesn't check the box. I see. That was my opinion as well. A lot of people have that opinion too now. They're starting to realize, okay, it's cool for stills, but it sucks for video. So I don't know. I would look for the next A7 IV. Chad says yes to PR. Okay. Jeff says, I think this is from Dave Chappelle's Sun Pours a Mental. Yes, it was. That was Sticks and Stones. Dave Chappelle's Sticks and Stones was one of the best comedies or comedy specials that I've seen in a very long time. I love the fact that he just puts it out there. And yeah, it's right. He goes, we're not poor, we're broke. It's a state of mind. Chad says, have you been hearing all the chatter about the... Yes, I have. I don't know anything about it. I've seen a couple of videos where people were doing that, and they're talking about it's better than the Ronin S, which, I mean, if anything has more weight capacity than a Ronin S, it's going to likely be better than a Ronin S. I mean, I have to strip my red way down on there, but it works. Jeff says, me too, man. C2, I loved it. Yeah, I've watched it now 3 times. I watched it once, laughed my rear end off. Then I showed it to my daughter because I knew she would enjoy the humor, and she did. And then I watched it with my wife after that. It's good stuff. LOL, all the Dave Chappelle talk. Yep. Why is the Steadicam system still so expensive? Why is the Aerie still so expensive? That is the same question. And the answer is, as long as people will continue to pay, they're not going to lower the price. If Aerie dried up, if tomorrow everyone said, you know what, there's way too many better cameras out here for less, I'm not paying $120,000. Until that day comes, Aerie's going to keep charging $120,000 for the cameras. It's not $120,000 for the camera, but when you rig it all out, it is. So, yeah, Steadicam is the best. It is by far the best. I mean, it was the original invention, and they're very expensive. But did y'all see Ted had it on Indie Mogul, where he was interviewing, what's his name? One of the major Steadicam guys. It was brilliant. Watch it. Go to Indie Mogul and watch that one. So much knowledge and wisdom from that guy. It was a pleasure watching that. And of course, I love Ted's. But the thing about Steadicams are in almost every single production. Every single film is going to have a Steadicam because you can do more with a Steadicam than you can with a gimbal. A gimbal is an encroachment on Steadicam, but a gimbal is never likely to take over a Steadicam until a Steadicam can become a better gimbal itself. Jamie says, I love Zhiyun Crane. Yep, I told you. However you spelled that. I went to Ronin SC. Oh, interesting. Graph shows same shoot shot on red on Ronin 2 and the Easy Rig. Still suck from the weight. Scrap the shot. Yeah, the Ronin 2, Marcel, my friend in LA, who is a total badass when it comes to to shooting with gimbals, he had the right statement. If you're going to rig your gimbal, then you want the Ronin 2. If you're going to put it on the car, you want the Ronin 2. If you're going to handhold it, you want the Movi Pro. And that is the truth, because the Ronin 2 weighs twice as much as that one. Okay, let's see here. So red prices are coming down then. Well, there is a thing called a Komodo, so it allows you into the red world. Actually, Adam, they did. The original Monstro was 80 grand. How much did you pay for yours? So let's see here. Fred Steady. I'm missing some here. Abu says, well said. Good point, Scott. Thank you. And your thoughts on the Steadicam. Yeah. I bought a one way back. I just found the videos of it. It's hilarious. You want to see a fat man sweat? It's me. I bought one called a Magicam, which was one of the better copies of a Steadicam. It still cost me $4 grand. The guy went completely belly up. He was losing money, and a lot of people got screwed. It was bad. But I can tell you, Steadicam takes so much practice. I mean, I had it for about a year, and I was okay with it. And my friend Mike Sutton, he's been doing it for like 20 years, and he's good. It takes a long time, but practice your craft. That's the way it works. Fred Steady, I like that. How about Freddie Steady? Abu says, I very much dislike most gimbals personally, and that Indie Mogul videos solidify the reasons I'm not keen on it. Yeah, exactly. I mean, and he said it best. He really did. And I'm not going to steal his thunder. Go watch it. Go support Indie Mogul. Go support Ted. Yeah. It's pronounced Jui? Zayun is what I heard. Jayun, I think is what it was, something like that. Gerald says, I'm keen to try out a vest with my gimbal. Buddy of mine tried it, and he said it was much better on his back. Yes, it is. I mean, your arms can only hold so much. If you were talking about, well, Gerald, are you talking about putting it on a Steadicam arm with a vest, or are you talking about using like the Pro, the Pro GS, the Ready Rig Pro GS? I can tell you the Ready Rig Pro GS is by far better than hand holding, and I can tell you that mounting a Ronin on a Steadicam arm is going to be better than the Ready Rig. JB says, so far I like the Zhiyun more, but at this point I have to adapt to DJI now. Yep, DJI makes it pretty good. Bazillion% agree with you on Movi or Ronan's statement. Yeah, that's, yeah, you said Movi. It's his statement. Marcel is the man. Marcel owns, I don't know, he has like 3 Ronin 2s. He flies like the big octocopters with it on there. He does a lot. Marcel's awesome. He's a beast. Where am I? They're just flying through here, and I love it. Keep the questions coming. This is a fun. You've actually taken my mind off my headache. There we go. I know, and I tell everyone that's a $90,000 cam. Chad, I think I'm going to buy a 4500 AK and rig it up like a Movi Pro. I mean, it's not going to hurt. As long as you practice and do it, it'll be great. Tony, hello, Scott and everyone. Hello, Tony. How are you, buddy? Oops. Wow, what just happened? Gerald says, Chad, I have the AK 2011. Well, there you go. So there is someone who has touched one that says good. Z-Wing Crane 2, not the Z. I can't even pronounce what you're pronouncing. That's what. How'd you get an extra? Is that? Oh. There was a speck on there. I was like, how'd you get the extra dot in there on YouTube fonts? That's weird. Chad says, Gerald, I need a cheaper way to get my shot on my Red. Here's the cheapest way. Get your shot. I mean, learn how to carry it. You can carry it. You can actually handhold a shot up your, or decrease your shutter angle and stabilize it in post, but you can get a fairly reasonable shot if you just practice your feet. The same footwork that you need to do the rolling heel to toe, like this, which is how you walk with a Steadicam or a gimbal. That works across the board, and it will serve you well. But it takes a lot of practice to do it. It's funny that being in the high school band is the easiest way to become a gimbal operator, because that's how they teach you how to march. They roll you like that. That was kind of ingrained. Gerald says, yes, vest and arm. Just need to find one I don't have to take a mortgage out to get. Used. You're going to find a used one is the way you want to do it. Craft Show says, Ready Rig still didn't help, at least with the weight. We were shooting anamorphic. Wish we had an arm instead. Why not? Why didn't it help you with the weight? It should have carried exactly the same way. The thing with vests, and this is something that a lot of people don't realize, well, I mean, some people don't realize, you are not supposed to allow the vest to rest. This is a rhyme, children. You're not supposed to let the vest to rest on your shoulders. It should be about a half an inch above your shoulders. All of the weight needs to be on your hips. That is how you carry the load. If it's on your shoulders, if you tighten it up, you're carrying it on your back, and it's going to kill you. With the Ready Rig, it's designed so that it won't touch your shoulders unless you cinch it down. And then it's carrying all the weight behind you. Now, you're still fighting the forward movement, and it kind of stinks. You got to get that camera as close to you as possible. Yeah. Jeff says, random note, if you are new DJI products, they are somewhat worth more money now. If you own new DJI products? Oh, interesting. My nose is already itching. I want to just do something to my nose before I start. Yeah. Yes, the Ninja Walk-a-mon. Yes, perfect. Exactly. Tony says, I am fine. Thank you for asking. Happy to see so much going on here. Yes, it's been a fun live stream so far. We're only an hour into it. I mean, I'll go as long as I can. I mean, I always say I'll go as long as everybody wants. My headache is still there. It's not bothering me right now, but all this activity is kind of fun. The adrenaline, I think, is helping. But, I mean, we'll just see. We'll just keep going. Craft Show says 7-pound lens. I feel you, buddy. Stripped Dragon, Bartek, yep. Ronin 2, we were close to the limitation of the weight, I believe. What? No, the Ronin 2 could do like 35 pounds. The Ronin 2 is extreme. And it can do like 35 pounds at 65 miles an hour. It is a beast. Backup plan was just to shoot with the Ronin 2 off the back of a golf cart. Well, that's a solid plan. Yeah. By the way, for those who didn't know that the tariffs went into effect on products from China, that's why you said, I got you. Okay. Did the price go up? I didn't see that. Need to drink that headache away. But I can't, Gerald. If I drink beer on the channel, YouTube will demonetize me. And I got to earn that 17 cents. That's what that one guy was saying on when we were having that discussion on my Sony video. He's like, yeah, you're profiting off of all of these people's others' backs. I was like, I am not profiting at all. I made 17 cents on that video. That's not even a beer. And I can't lose my 17 cents by drinking. I can't even smoke cigars anymore. It's sad. I can't even be me. Just says, yep, on all the current products. Interesting. I have to go look at that. Craft Show Ronin 2 worked. Just weight was too much on my back. Oh, I actually, it's kind of funny. I can hold it longer with my arms than I can with my back. Fun fact for you, Scott has a very straight back. Scott has fused vertebrae from a really bad accident back like 20 plus years ago. So Scott has troubles with those heavy rigs now. Scott's learning that Scott isn't Superman, and Scott can't always talk in third person when he's referring to gimbals. So, yeah. Gerald says, kudos for keeping your cool in those comments on the Sony rumor video. Yeah. Looks like in the intern 180 and actually praised you. I didn't get to, I saw it pop up. I saw some words. I mean, it is hard as any creative for someone to say something negative about you. I have tried my darndest through the years here on the YouTube to not be like super reactive. I mean, I really do like everybody. I really don't dislike anybody. But I do like to play that cat and mouse game. When someone accuses you of something, I'm playing. I'm having a good time because I already know the answers. So it's easy for me to set up that domino so that it falls. So I mean, I hoped I was doing it lightheartedly. I mean, it's the internet. You got to throw a smiley face or an LOL in there to help sell it. But really, anybody who has interacted with me on a live stream knows my personality and knows that I'm not a jerk online. It's just not my nature. So it's probably a joke if it sounded like a jerk. But yeah, thank you, Gerald. I appreciate that. I was trying to keep my cool that way. Yeah. All right, come on, let's fire off those questions. Craft Show, by the way, found a fantastic rental house. Got a full Alexa package for what? What? Is that out of Atlanta by chance? Tell me that's out of Atlanta. Tell me it is. Because I know somebody that bought several Alexas. I know where you got it from. That's their goal. It's a woman. Oh, Chicago? Wow. Okay. Well, there's a woman who bought like 4 Alexa packages in Atlanta so she could rent them out cheap, like $350 a day. I have no idea why you would do that. $1,200 for a week. Were you up in Chicago? Or they ship it? Wow. That's a deal. That's a deal for an Alexa. Man, I might be able to throw that into a shoot. Weapon package for 7 for $650. See, that makes me sad. That is exactly what my video was all about. The race to the top is actually a race to the bottom. What? Cinematography C, man? $1,811. That's nice. You got a deal to it, buddy. I hope you marked that up. Made a little money on that. I need to come hang out. And just hang out with you guys. You guys inspire me. You don't do your live streams anymore. You don't video much anymore. It's hard for me to get my inspiration. But I got inspired by you two a lot. Hell yes. Good. I love that. Yeah, I'll come. I'll help you. I'll help you gain an extra chin. I'll show you how it's done. We can kick back a few beers and be creative. We can have some fun. Do that. All right. Well, we got a lot of people in chat. Let's fire off some questions. Let's fire off some conversation. I got my mom. My daughter got my mom hooked on Mindhunter. Now she's totally addicted. She binged watched season 1, season 2, like in 3 days. Did y'all hear that Netflix is now going to stop allowing the binge? They're going to release new shows weekly. I'm actually okay with this. A lot of people aren't. I do like to binge watch. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like when Mindhunter season 2 came out, I binged it, and in 8 hours I was done. We talked about it for the next 2 days, and then we never spoke again. We never talked about it again, and that's what binging does. There's no continuous discussion about it. You end up forgetting that they're doing another season. I literally, at the end of season 2, I turned to my wife, I said, when's season 3 coming out? For that purpose. Yeah, I kind of agree with it. Now you've got the Disney Plus, you've got Amazon. Amazon's got a couple of new ones. Someone just told me to watch Carnival Row on Amazon. It looks interesting. It's kind of a cross between Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, and Pirates of the Caribbean, or so. I don't know. It's got Orlando Bloom, I think, in it. I don't know. It looked interesting. Craft Show says, ha. Jeff says, I think the ending of the binge makes more sense. Keeps people invested over. I agree. But I will say they need to then bring those seasons closer together, is what I would say. Black Warrior says, is the Blackmagic Pocket 4K reliable? Is quality control still an issue? So the problems with there's initial quality control, which is the packaging. The secondary is the power and HDMI ports, which are breaking. It's a cheap camera. They've got to cut corners left and right to be able to get it at that price. They have not changed the design any. So it is the same design. So if you're going to get one, you need to protect and baby those connections because you can break them off. And then you got to send it back and then wait. I mean, there are people still waiting on their 4Ks, brand new ones. Jeff says, but that's not good for bingers. That's true. And I like bingers. As long as they leave them out there so that I can binge as soon as the series is over, I'll do it. But I probably will watch it. I probably will. Does anybody like NFL football? I like football. I'm excited for football season again. I enjoy drinking beer, smoking a cigar, and watching a football game. But I also like other things too. Iman says, I'm actually okay with Netflix doing that. I need stuff to watch most of it. Yeah, exactly. There's so much stuff coming out that I'd rather space it out. It was what's his name? The comedian who's like almost albino. He jokes of himself as albino. Oh yeah, I'm well. He called it appointment television, and I think that is the most brilliant analysis of what it is. He was on the Joe Rogan show, and he was talking about that. That's what it is. It's appointment television. You have to make an appointment on Tuesday night to be able to watch it. That's what it was, yep. Let's see here. Craft Show says Carnival Row is beautiful. Okay, all right. I watched like 5 minutes of it, and I said, you know what, I got to watch this with my wife. Carnival Row, I'd highly recommend. Really well shot, beautiful imagery. Of course, the story is good as well. Has anybody watched the Skegses? The Dark Crystal. We weren't in the mood, and we got 30 minutes in and had to stop, but we have a lot of interest in it. We loved it, so we'll go back and binge it. Black Warrior Lures, college football, Roll Tide. Interesting. Peter VR, haven't finished Carnival Row yet, but so far not very impressed. Very familiar story wrapped in high production value. Interesting. Gerald says, Seahawks fan here. I'm originally from there. Go Texans. Let's see here. Go Saints, says Craft Show. Nigel Kelly. Hello, Nigel. How are you? Carnival Row is dreadful. Interesting. I couldn't make it through episode 1. Atrocious. Secession, on the other hand, is amazing. Interesting. There was another... I don't know if it's Secession. I don't remember the name, but it was advertised on the NFL show, NFL program last night. It's an Amazon, and it looked really interesting. I don't know. It like just came out, so I don't know if that's Secession or not. Is it? Wait. It's the one with the dude. I think it's the guy from The Office was in it. That guy. Gerald says, and the wife has her master's in mathematics from Virginia Tech, so we watch all those games as well. Aha. Abu says, yes, I enjoyed the Dark Crystal. Oh, very good. We're looking for it. I'm obviously I like puppets, so I mean there should be no surprise there. Dark Crystal, I mean I had that growing there. Man, my nose, and but I love the Dark Crystal back when I was a youth. It was well, I wasn't that youthful, I guess, when it came out, but I love that stuff. I like Jim Henson. What camera do you use to stream? Well, Chad, that's always been a toss up. It depends. It depends. Guess what camera I'm using today? How about that? We bring that back. It's the Sony. We're just using the A7R3 at the moment. I do that so I can get a little more depth of field with these lights in the background, and still haven't figured out how to decorate this. Still haven't figured it out. I'd really like right over here, I'd like to have like a neon sign, but I don't have a logo that I really would want. I don't think IC Film. I like my IC Films logo. I don't know. Maybe my little at the bottom of my videos. How I have like Scott Balcom at the little watermark at the bottom, but I have the S inset behind the B, and the B and the S are super large on purpose, so that when you see it, you see BS. Maybe I should just do that right there. That'd be funny. Let's see here. T3i. Yep, I use the T3i, yep. Abu says, I like the tight angles in the Dark Crystal because it feels more immersive than many wide shots, perhaps more prevalent in past productions. It was interesting because that article was talking about how they never, they never put the camera on a tripod. That whole thing, they didn't want a locked off shot. The other interesting thing, so they did a lot of camera tests. They tested a lot. And the camera sensor that they chose was Dragon. They didn't like Monstro, which is weird. I love Monstro over Dragon. Dragon is my second favorite, though. They didn't like Helium. They didn't like Gemini. They liked Dragon, but they wanted it in anamorphic. So they actually had Red bring out, I don't know if Red had them or if they were still at their rental house, but there was an old set of Dragon VistaVision anamorphics that were using the very large Dragon sensor, but in a really tall anamorphic. And those are the cameras that they used for Dark Crystal. So if you like Dark Crystal the way it looks, that's Dragon for you. I love Dragon. Abu says, I haven't read the article. That's very interesting. Okay, let's do a test real quick because I changed the chat response. So I'm going to say a letter, and I want everyone to type that letter. Well, not everyone, just 3 or 4 of you or all of you can type that letter, and I'm going to count how long until that letter shows up. So everybody get ready at your keys. Are you ready? The letter we're going to type is K. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. 8 seconds. That's not bad. That's not bad. That's really cool. And I got a lot of people agreeing with me. They're all saying K. K. That's not bad. I think this setting is definitely better. I know we've had problems in the past where it was like a 30-second delay. And so the new setting seems to be better. I can handle it. Hey, Tim. You're out there always quiet, man. I see how you are. Speed of light. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, Jeff. We can't follow directions, can we? I like the variety that some people did capital K. Some people were lower K. Thank you for that. That was that makes me feel better. That makes me feel more real time in the discussion, because when Abu typed, "Oh, I haven't read that article. That's very interesting," I felt like that showed up sooner than it normally did. I may have just been rambling and just completely lost my my train of thought. Oh, let's see. What else is going on out there? Craft Show, I think the Dragon sensor is great because to me it feels more filmic. It's moody. The Alexa or how we shot it was even great for the bank commercial. Yeah. I I I tend to agree. The dragons, when shot at full resolution, I think the dragon noise shows up almost like 35 millimeter film grain. I think it looks very organic. And I'm slightly stealing that description from Phil Holland. I liked it because it's. I couldn't come up with the words, but he had said that, I don't know, like 3 or 4 years ago, and that's exactly how I feel with it. It just feels, to me, the helium. Helium is cool, but to me, it has a more video-ish feel to it, but it's cleaner. Gemini, I think, is very close to Dragon. I don't think it's bad. But I think Monstro is on a whole nother level. The color that you can get out of Monstro, it's insane. You got to shoot with Monstro, man. You got to do it. If you can't do it, come here. I'll get Grumbo. Grumbo, you still out there? We'll take Craft Show out and I'll buy you tacos, Grumbo, and we can shoot with Monstro. Nigel says, what do you make of the new Canon C500? I make a lot out of it. I mean, ultimately, and we talked about this at the beginning, but I don't mind bringing it back up for conversation. C500 Mark II, I think they've come back entering really strong. I think if you didn't watch my video, the way I put it was they're in the middle. And they position themselves in the middle. They can do cinema stuff. You can use it as a cinema camera, but it's not necessarily the camera you would use in cinema. It could be a low budget, but it's and portable. But I'm sorry, my nose. Fast, light, portable, reality TV, that kind of thing. I think it's got a lot going for it. What I don't know is the image stabilization. It's digital, so we don't know how it's going to perform. So I mean, time is going to tell. But it's 6K. It's got some feature. A lot of people are upset that it doesn't have super slow motion. I get it. It does have 60. 60 is pretty much all you see most of the time anyway, so I don't think it's bad. I think it's definitely going to be a camera to keep an eye on. Definitely. What is going on? I'm not. Oh, dropping frames? No. Am I? No. Video output low. That's fine. Probably just me scratching my nose. Crasher says, Alexa felt Panasonic Canon to me. Interesting. Could be the glass. Well, the Suma Cs, I don't consider those very low contrast. I do think your S4 Mini was more of a lower contrast glass. I don't. Panasonic, I can feel that. I can feel that a lot. Panasonic definitely has that. I call Panasonic's color palette muted. I call Canon's color palette saturated in skin tones. Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting that Canon. I mean, there's not a whole lot of Canons to compare it to these days right now. C500 Mark II, though. Amon says, Ripperoni to the stream for like a minute. Yeah, that was I saw it like went low, and it dropped like 215 frames. So that could be up to 10 seconds there. Abu says, what I do know is that it is an extremely exciting time to be a filmmaker. Yes. The tech, including cams, glass, computational tools, are in our hands. I feel more than happy to be honest. Yeah, it was actually going to be a video that I was going to put out. I was going to record it this morning, but because that Sony info got slid to me last night, I wanted to get that video out quick. And it's literally on that. Right now, the excuses, and I am guilty as charged. The excuses that people make are going to have to get pushed off to the side now. There is no reason with any of these cameras that are available today that you can't make something absolutely worthy of your vision. There's no reason. There's very few things that you have to have, the 16 stops of dynamic range from a Red or the ultra wide from the Alexa 65. There's very few things that 13 stops won't tell a story with that's beautiful. So now's the time, all of you, me too, to get up off of our rear ends and get out there and start shooting something. And I will say, I have been a lot bolder in the background lately. There's a lot of things happening that are helping me be bold. Because in the end, you would never know this, but I'm a really shy person and really insecure. But I'm emboldened. If you could see the setup right now in here, let's see if I can do that. Can I pop that off? I probably can. Will that even work? Let's go here. That didn't work. Nope, it's upside down. Hey, there's the set. There's the camera. Wow, this is zoomed in. Oh, it is zoomed in, isn't it? You can see there is a 8x8 silk in the studio. And you can see the. Oh, you can't see it. No, get around the corner. There's the chair. The bar scene has been ripped down. We're being more aggressive in here. There's my little desk scene. And Drew, you've really ruined me. That's Craft Show. I wanted to do a typewriter scene, and then you did it for your little creation 8 months ago. And so now I have to wait to do it. You ruined me, man. You took my shot. Let's see here. Abu says, amen. Yep, boom. It is, it's time to get off of our butts. It's time to rise up and make a difference and make a story and tell it and share. And it's time for me too. It's time for me. Do you just have a decent sized studio where you work? That's crazy. Here, let me hold on. Let me fix this. Zoom. Whoop. Come on, zoom out. Come on, zoom out. And then it's not going to. Oh, you know what? Ha 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 ha. I do have a light I can use. It's right here. Bing. There we go. All right, let me fix this here. I'll do a better shot of this. So, whoops, upside down. This is my little corner over here, my little studio tour. There's really not much in my studio. There's the false wall. Oops, get out of there. You can see the ceiling space. It's all black. It's dark in here. This is my multi-wall, my bedroom, living room set with the, plug this in, and then I got lights for the window, then brick wall, and then you can see kind of the 8x8 all there. I mean, it's a 20 by 30 room. But over there in the corner, that's going to change up, and that corner over there is going to change up. There'll be 2 more sets coming, 2 more small sets, just because I actually enjoy building them. I think it's a lot of fun. And I can't get this to go back in. I'm a failure when it comes to mounting cameras. Really? Is that what we're doing? Really? That's pretty pathetic. There we go. There we go. All right, so there you go. There's the, let me turn that light off. It gets hot in here. Boom. That's the mini studio tour. Nice. I love the antique olden style of the props you got going on. Yeah, I've got, I've been playing lately a lot with the, the headaches. Hold on. Totally lost it. The old black and white. The talk really fast. You got the somebody will type it in there. I've been playing a lot with that lately, a lot, and that's kind of the look I've been using. I like that kind of. I like those old movies. They're great. They actually focus on story. I laugh because Hollywood's remaking all these freaking movies. They need to go back and remake some of those, or at least just follow the what they're doing. Their stories matter. Their stories are interesting, and I love that. Craft Show says, cool rig gaffer brought onto the shoot. Poly bounce or 4x4. Titan tube zip tied to it. Yep. Yeah, I've seen that a lot. People use like the 8x8s. They'll put 6x6 quasars behind it or 8x8s and light it up, and then boom, it's an instant softbox. They throw a drape over it. It's giant. Abu says, I've done set design construction for live theater for many years. Back then, there wasn't any need for ultra detail, and we weren't live broadcasting or anything. In fact, there's an art to making. Yeah, Abu, this was the first set wall that I built that I tried some things that basically detail was not that important, and they tell you. So my tape and floating on the wall is actually masking tape. It's painted masking tape, and no one notices it. No one sees it. And I was blown away. I don't even see it. When I watch the stuff, I don't see the masking tape back there. So, yeah, construction or the details don't have to be there. It's all about the set deck. Get it out there. Let's see. On 4x4 bounce, got it. Okay. Abu says, sets with less detail that when viewed from, yeah, exactly that. It's all fun stuff to me. I do like building the sets. The only thing I don't like about the sets is I'd like to be able to change them more. I wish I could come up with a faster way to move sets around. And I talked about this like 2 years ago on the live stream where I wanted to invent rolling sets. So it was going to be 2 articulated arms. So you could roll it out this way and this way, and you would get a corner, a side here or a corner, or a side here and a corner. You could then fold it in, you get a different corner. You can fold it this way, you get a different corner. You fold it this way, you get what's on the wall. So you'd have this ultra, and it was very, very hard to do. There's like one company that makes a hinge that would work. And then Ted Sim showed me his dolly that they use. They have this little dolly where it just picks up a wall and moves it. I'm like, that's what I want. It just puts it on wheels. That's what I want. You should build double-sided set walls on wheels. I don't know how to. I need more information on that. There's actually almost no videos out there on building. So there's a lot of time lapses. I've got all the construction books, all the set designer's handbook and all that stuff, but they're all talking about still using like canvas and such, which I'm not going to cover it with canvas and paint that. Yes, articulating designs can be immensely practical, and that's what I wanted, because I want to be able to do like 12 different sets in here easily, fast. Yeah, I'm working with what I got. My biggest problem is jumping over all the literally hurdles in here that I put. I do like the hue lights for their practicals. Hue lights are great. I can't wait for Aperture's lights to come out, but I use the hue lights all the time now. If you've seen the set, does anybody want to see a breakdown of the way I've been shooting these last sit-down videos? I mean, it's not that big of a lighting deal, but if anybody's interested, I'll do that. Use a green screen, you can be anywhere. Well, that's not exactly true. I mean, that's green screen right there. I have an 11 by 10 by 10 on the floor green screen with a cyc on it. Yes, yes. Everybody says yes, yes. Okay, I'll do one. Hey, anytime I've done a video and you like something in there and you're interested in how I did it, just make a comment. Hey, can you show me how to do that? Or show me what you did at least. I'm happy to make videos like that. Peter V8, yes, still working on my set. Going slow. I went with, let's see if I could. I can't. I don't have a way to show you back there. Yeah, it's. I mean, I used 1x3s, and then I used. You know what? No, I built the set on a vlog. I put a video out there on how to make them. Yeah, go back and find my vlog. Just type in set on my videos, and that's how I built mine. And they're okay. I mean, I like this wall. What I wanted to do with this wall, and it was Aperture's studio that got me excited about it. What they did was they built 2 panels, and then they built like another panel and just set it sideways, and then they had a little short panel, and then they just made the opening just a window by putting mullions in it and then curtains, and you didn't know there was no glass there. I actually have a window in here. I took it off of our old what did I take it off? Yeah, an old building that I had, and so I installed a double pane window back there, but you actually lose a lot of light from that. Plus, when I put a fan back there to get things moving, it doesn't blow through. It doesn't blow through the curtains. So I wanted to take this panel that's right here, oh my nose, and move it down this way. But now I can't because it would literally be right here. It would come out to here, which, I mean, I guess I could just move over. Why not? Just use it as the wall. Okay, maybe I might do that still. And then that would give me a bigger window, which would give me more room to put lights through it and kind of decorate it. All right. What time have we got? 5:30. Doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. Abu, you should make some videos on the set stuff that you've built, or share or anything. I love watching that stuff. And there's none. There's like 5 people on YouTube. I mean, one of the sets that I need to build is an elevator set, but I need it to be super portable because there's no way I can just have it sitting in here all the time. But I need to be able to bring it in and out because I have a ton of skits that involve an elevator. I don't know why. I always thought, hey, you know, an elevator, it's small and compact, it'd be easy to shoot. And I don't have an elevator still. Good stuff. All right, so what else? Anybody else got any more questions or conversations or anything? I mean, if it's dying down for everybody, I'm happy to just to let it go off. If y'all want to keep talking, I'm happy to do that too. Abu says, yeah, I'm planning on it probably the beginning of next year due to my time constraints. Thanks for the encouragement. Yeah, go out there and search. It's pretty bad. I mean, my phone, every time I'm on a set, I take pictures of behind the set. And I take pictures of how they built it and how they did it so I can see what I can get away with as easy as possible. Because there isn't any online. It really isn't. It's pretty bad. So be that guy. Be the one that shares that knowledge with the world and show me how to do an elevator. Oh, my nose. Why? I really think it's the nose hairs. Maybe I should trim my nose hairs. All right. Who's got more questions? I'm throwing it out there for questions now. If it's winding down, we'll wind it down. But if you got questions, throw it out there. Come on, boom, get them going. Let's rapid fire. We're going to lightning round again. That's what I want. I need a cigar. Just by saying that, I'll probably get demonetized. I have enjoyed the stream very much. I have to run now, unfortunately. Thanks, Scott. Absolutely, Abu. Thanks for dropping by. Always fun. Always fun. You keep it lively. I like that. See you on Facebook. Yep, indeed. And if anybody wants to friend me on Facebook, I don't. I mean, unless you're posting really boring stuff, I might hide you. But I mean, friend me up. I don't mind. I'm not that that kind of guy. Cheers. Yep. Do you write a script for your YouTube videos, or just talking points wing it? Good question, Peter. So the answer is, up until very, very recently, I wing it. The videos that you see that have more cuts than not, that's me winging it. I've always been a talker off the shoulder, just kind of get going. If somebody can give me a topic, I can talk on it for 5 minutes without a problem. What I found was I don't feel like that works with attention spans of today, put it that way, because I'll ramble. I mean, I may be rambling on points that are still relevant, but it may not be the topical points. And then I also tend to forget things. And I don't want to sit there and go, all right, back to my outline and do that kind of stuff. I have always had a problem writing. It's been the biggest struggle for me as a filmmaker, is writing things out. I have forced myself into doing teleprompters recently, and I want to make sure that I still come off as myself and not a talking head. I leave stuff in there for me to kind of ramble a little bit while I keep it going. I mean, I've got it on my board of things to discuss, is just doing a review on the teleprompter that I use, which is the one-take only pad prompter for those who don't want to wait for the episode to come out. And I use a set of foot pedals. One of them goes back and a paragraph, and the next one starts and stops. And so it's why I'm never, anytime I'm on the green screen or the poster, the paper in the back, anytime there's that, I'm on teleprompter. Anytime I'm sitting in that chair, it's teleprompter. And I've been writing them that way. And I have found that by writing those, I'm getting better at writing. So it's been helping me. That's some of the courage that I've been needing. And it has helped quite a bit. And so I have been writing a lot of this stuff out. And I can write it really fast. I found a silly trick for me. I don't know that it works with anybody else but me, but it works for me. And that is, while I'm typing, I'm saying the words. I'm saying the new C500 Mark II from Canon is the best camera, blah, blah, blah. That's how I'm writing this stuff now. And I have to go to another room because my family thinks I'm insane when I'm just rambling. But it works. It allows me to hear what I'm saying fast enough to slow me down so that I can type it. Because my brain's going 100 miles an hour. I can talk 100 miles an hour, but I can't type 100 miles an hour. And I can't take what's in my brain and put it on a keyboard with my personality in the words without speaking it out loud. And whatever that does, it disconnects my brain from going 100 miles an hour and forces me to talk slower. So hopefully that answered your question. It's starting to die down. We're losing folks in here. That's okay. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. Oh, wow. I didn't realize I was... That's normally what I do when I start the stream. I make sure that it's streaming, and then I push pause on the background. Otherwise, it's sitting there streaming back to me, which it's been doing for the next hour and a half. Interesting. Do I create a shot list beforehand, including B-roll, or what level detail do you plan before production? It totally depends. So if it's a short film, any of the short films that I've done that are narrative, those are scripted, and they are shot listed. And I tend to invent a lot on set. So I have my base and then I go from there. On the stuff here, which on Monday, if this weekend goes well, on Monday you should see a next level video from me for a review. If this weekend goes well, because I have like 12 different scenes to shoot this weekend, and they're all like 10-second long. But I got to shoot those this weekend to be able to get that video out for Monday. I've been sitting on this video for a while. I've done a lot of motion control with it. It's just a lot. So in that case, I visualize, like the video on Monday, the way it worked was I visualized kind of what I wanted to do. I did the motion control B-roll. I took that in and rapidly edited that and came out with a feel. So I didn't know how my B-roll would take, because I shoot my B-roll like motion control. I shoot it in slow motion. I shoot it very slowly, which gives me the opportunity to speed it up real fast and then have it just creep and then speed up again with ramping. So I wanted to get the feel for what the B-roll was going to feel like, get some music going to it. I got that. I got the feel of the tone. Then I put some voiceover to it, which then got me writing the script for my voice, or for my discussion, which I sat in this chair to do. I wrote that out, teleprompted that, recorded that out, took that back in, and then from that, shot listed out a whole bunch of pickups that I need to do. A lot of close-ups that I need to pick up, and then the scenes, the 10 or 12 different scenes that I've got to shoot. So probably not the smartest way to do it, but it was definitely more inspiring for me to do it this way. Or I was able to do more of that way because I didn't really know what I was going to shoot until I started with that. Yeah, that's that. Frosty, you still have not answered my question. What's your first name? Give me your first name. You got to do it. You got to do it. Digital stabilization can do more axis calculated. Yes and no. You can't change an angle. You can't change a complex angle like this to this in motion without affecting everything that's in between. And if you're at an angle like this where you have parallax going in your angle, that 5-axis cannot calculate reliably what happens to this while this is changing to this, because you have moved around. Parallax, yaw, that kind of stuff with digital is where you start getting the jello effect. Gary, okay, so I don't know who. We didn't meet, did we? I got to remember that. I feel like I know you, but maybe we just connected at such a level. Okay. I'll try to remember. Gary. Got it. Okay. I just feel like we've known each other, and maybe I met you and I just have no memory of it, and I apologize. I don't know, but nice, Gary. Yeah, so digital stabilization, that is everything that I have read on how they're doing things and the problems that they have with it. I mean, if somebody can come up with a better way to do it, maybe Canon did. I know that, what has it? The DJI, I don't have it out here, the DJI Action Cam, it has some of the best digital stabilization I've seen, but it will go wonky on you. Really, I mean, depending on the depending on the situation, the parallax in there, it will go jello. The C700 I liked with global shutter. I like global shutter too, but they're getting really good at masking it now. Have you noticed that? It's interesting. And then also, I kind of wonder because they now have rolling shutter fixes digitally that are not bad. So for those fast pans, they're fixing that. So I kind of wonder if a lot of these cameras are putting that in there now. I don't know. The C700 really disappointed me when it came out. I felt like it was a rush to get that camera out there, and in such a rush, they forgot what a usable camera was like. It's such I call it the big sourdough loaf. It's such an odd beast. And I have a feeling that the C500 Mark II is actually what they intended the C700 to be, but they couldn't get it out fast enough. That's my feeling. I really think we're going to see a lot with the C500 Mark II. I think it's going to hit the ground running. But it will be interesting to see what the FX9 delivers. Indeed. Global shutter. No one makes a global shutter sensor really anymore. I mean, that's kind of the Alexa's problem. The Alexa's on that Alev 4, I think it is, and that's a global shutter sensor. But that's like one of the last ones. Everybody's gone to rolling or the rolling shutter just because they get speed out of it, and it's cheaper. I remember Blackmagic promised their Ursa Mini Pro 4.6 was going to be global. I think the cost was prohibitive. All right. It is 5:47. Let's go lightning round. Everybody got any questions, comments, discussion points, anything they want to bring up, anything they want to chat about? Gary. I'm remembering it, Frosty. Any conversations we all need to have together? It's winding down. It's getting close to 6 o'clock. My nose is going nuts. I always feel weird. I feel like I need to cut to the... let's go here, then you can see me wipe my nose. What do I got on here? You can see my mouse, my phone. Oh, you can read my messages. And then, okay, cool. All right, I'm going to wrap this up then. We got one. Iman says, seems like they made the C500 Mark II for more than one style of project, but that based on what I've seen from the specs. Yeah, it's the way I described it is it's a camera that isn't a cinema camera, but it can act like one. It's a camera that's not a portable camera, but it can act like one. I think that's where the C500 Mark II sits. I think it's poised to be a cinema camera, but it's not quite a cinema camera. But maybe it is. We're going to see. I think the biggest problem with like Canon RAW is the stuff you have to go through to work with it. It's kind of a pain in the rear. That is the beauty of like Red RAW is it's built in. I mean, they got it built in. Who was that? It was just was it Abu or? Oh, it's Alex. Alex Close had posted that. Was it Alex? Yeah, I think it was. Yes, it was Alex. Talking about how Red got Red RAW built into the NLEs quickly, and now it's really paying off. And I think that is the inhibitor of Blackmagic and Canon, and I mean it's so much to implement for the NLE providers that they're not sure if they want to or not. It's interesting. All right, we're going to wrap it up here. As always, thank you all for joining. It's been a blast today. It's actually been, I've been having a bad day with my headache, and it was a lot of fun to chat with all of you. You are all lively and keep me energized, and I appreciate that. As always, if you have any questions or comments, put them in the comment section down below. I do try to read and respond to each and every one, even if it's just to say thank you. I do have a Patreon or a PayPal if you wish to support me that way. Just a little tip goes a long way, or you can super chat me anytime during a live stream. If you like this video, thumbs up. If you hated it, give me a thumbs down. It's all good. We can be friends. And don't forget to subscribe. An hour and a half, 45 minutes into it. Now I'm asking for people to subscribe. But, yep. As always, as I like to leave it, don't let your passions center around your life. Let your life center around your passions. Thanks, everybody. Y'all have a wonderful weekend. Hopefully I make my deadline for Monday. Hopefully. Can I just sit here for 20 seconds? Just 20 seconds.